Well guys, it's about midday Tuesday. As you can see back here, we got a pond going a little bit faster than what we wanted, but it's all good. We got some plans for it. I bet between Friday and Thursday night, Friday night, then come again Sunday night. Well, no, about midday Monday. Shoot, we probably got 3 inches of rain down here. You can see this place is pretty saturated. It's no problem. We got a plan. You can see kind of right out here in the middle, that's where that ledge was at. What I'll do is we'll kind of force some of this water back into the deep end. We'll continue excavation across here. I'll just leave a little water bar or a berm across the middle, a little levee to hold the water in. And whenever I get down to the end of it, we'll just come back through there and cut that little bit out. I mean, we do it all the time with pond expansion, so it's no big deal. But we're gonna get out here, start throwing some dirt. Gonna kind of pull from this area right through here and kind of throw it back in here. There's a little low spot through there that we're gonna spread some of this dirt out in here. So that'll give us something to do today until we come back a little later when it dries up some. We'll start working on the other half of the pond back towards the home side and use that to finish leveling things out. So we got some plans, but let's get at it. Right of this tree, kind of sloping down through here, little valley back towards the brush pile over here. So this pond is going to kind of shape a little curve to it right through here, and then it's going to round back out. Just trying to keep some nice shape and contours to everything. So everything kind of right out here to the right on this half of the pond, like I was saying, I'm going to flip it out here. Put 3 or 4 feet through here, cut a little drain between it so the water from up on this side can still work its way down through here, even though there's not much. We just don't want to slow anything down. But kind of the feel I'm trying to go with here is inside of some of these shapes and contours of the pond, everywhere there's a little point, I want a little knoll or a little hump. And then in the valleys, it's going to be low. So kind of going for that golf course look of these knolls, these valleys, and everything's kind of hilly and flows around it. That way they can either plant some trees or just the grass by itself will look beautiful. So that's kind of what we're going for. That's the concept behind it. And the good thing about it, a lot of this unusable material that's out here, it gives us somewhere to go with it to get this pond excavated out and cleaned out. And also, again, you can see out here in front of us, it's pretty nasty, but since we kind of opened it up last week and let this stuff dry out, the ground is pretty solid. So we could sit here another 2 days and let some of this kind of evaporate and soak into the ground, but I mean, the same thing's going to happen, whether I pull all this up. By the time I make a 5-foot cut out of here, all of this water's going to be gone. You won't even know it's here. So that's kind of what we're thinking, just to help us keep making some progress. We got about 7 days of good weather in front of us, and I think that'll be plenty of time to get everything finished up. So I just want to keep making some progress. We're going to get out here today, open some more ground up, and keep it rolling. Everything out here in front of us, as time goes by, or not as time goes by, but as things dry out, we'll start working on this other side of the pond and pulling some good material out and kind of leveling out the whole house pad area. So that's where we're at. That's the plan. So let's get to it. contour is kind of right here where this cut's at. So I'll just take all this material, throw it to the side, and as it kind of bends back in, what I'll do, I'll make this cut, throw the material up there, I'll back up some, and then I'll get around there and start throwing it back and feathering it out, and we'll have it out of the pond. So I like to do that a lot because it helps me in these situations. Matt is I don't know, probably 2.5 hours from here in the opposite direction from our house and stuff, and he's about 2.5 hours away from here putting some rock down on a construction entrance to a house pad we just did a couple weeks ago. So it helps me if we can get out here and do stuff like this. Like I like to be productive and efficient in a low cost manner. So doing something like this, the only thing really getting a lot of heavy use and wear and tear is just the excavator. Again, that's why I don't run a big dozer, because being a smaller operation, I can turn a lot of these projects into a one-man job when I need to. Until we get to the point where we're ready to haul some dirt out and move it around like we did last week on the last video. 2 of us will work, or if we're really at a place where we need to be productive, we've got a lot going on at the job site, Ricky will be here with us too, and it'll be 3 of us working. So we can do 1 in a dozer, 1 in a dump truck, 1 in an excavator. We can do 2 in dump trucks, whatever we need to do. So that's where we're at. That's kind of what I do to get some of these ponds dug out sometimes, especially this beautiful springtime weather, which it is beautiful, but pretty bluebird skies, everything's budding out, new leaves, new growth. I mean, it is a beautiful time of year, but it can be tough in the excavation business, trying to battle the rain and the mud. One thing I had learned in the first couple years of business, though, not to force it. That first year, I just felt like we could never not be working. So rain, sleet, or snow, we were trying to make something happen, and you turn a 1-week job into a 3-week job doing that. So we learned some valuable lessons. Now we'll let the rain get out the way, and then make a decision from there if it's worth working on it, or just let it dry out. But in this situation, just the simple fact that we don't have to reuse a whole lot of this dirt for any specific purpose besides just getting it out of the pond and leveling some things up, it doesn't. I'm not building a road to hold up 18-wheelers. So I've got a good spot picked out in the back pasture where I can go get some really good material to build their driveway and their house pad out of, and I'm gonna backfill it with some of this. So my point is, in this situation, it's not gonna hurt us to go ahead and work and be getting some of this dirt out of here. What I'm gonna do too here, you see I'm already at the height of the water. So since this is some of the sandy material, I don't want to go too deep just yet. I'd rather come back in here after I know I'm ready and cut down below the water level, because I don't want anything seeping in on us while we're still trying to work. So I'll get down to the same height as the water, make this cut, get our shape and everything out, and then I'll come back, because then at that point I'll be down in the bottom of the pond. So we're not making cuts like this. The cut would be more like that. So it'd be less dirt to take out, and I can do it faster, and then we can go ahead and let it, if it wants to hold water, it can. It's not going to hurt us. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all staying around. I decided to pull up the Onyx app to kind of show you guys an aerial map of what we're working on here. So you can see where I've already got the pond drawn out, but let me pull it up here to where I can show you where the road's going to go, and you can kind of get a better idea of what the customer wants and what we're trying to accomplish. Let me change that. I had the wrong tool pulled up, so I can put a straight line in here. So the way they bought this property, they've got the right of way on that first long stretch, and then this brings them into the property. And then what they wanted was the driveway to kind of enter in around that back corner, that northwest corner of the pond. So that'll give you a look of what the driveway is going to look like and how they're going to kind of come in and sweep around the pond to the house place. Now, you can kind of see what we've got to work with. Got to clean out a few trees and stuff. The driveway is going to kind of circle right here and come around. And right there at the last end, there's about a 3-foot rise in elevation. But if you notice in the pond area how there's kind of outside of the blue tint, you can see the darker grassy areas, and you can kind of tell where this thing naturally holds water and kind of even feeds over into the property just to the bottom of it there. So I drew this map out, kind of when I was still in the talks with the customers on what we were going to do. But given where they want the driveway to come in at and how they want it to kind of shape around it and have some trees lining it kind of from the pond area up to the house area, I'm going to kind of maneuver those western pockets right there, which they're at the top of the drawing here, and kind of reshape how it's already kind of shaping out and lining out. But this is kind of show you guys what I do when I'm talking to a customer with a pond, to try to get an idea, give them a visual of what I think the pond's going to look like based on contours and such. And a lot of the big things is we want to provide as much shape as possible to the pond, just so it's not so boring and looks really nice. And if you can see in some of those points towards the inside of the pond, that's where I'm talking about putting some of the excess dirt and creating these little knolls and humps and such. And then the remainder of the dirt I'm going to take out in the area I'm kind of marking up right here, which is where the house pad's going to be. The big low area in here that we've already put some dirt into. But this kind of give you an idea of the layout of the property and what we're going for. This is usually how I present the projects to the customers after communicating with them and seeing what they want out of the property. Again, guys, I want to say thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again later.